Hi everybody, welcome to Line of the Week number 177, Motif Development Using Melodic Rhythms. It's time again to take a rhythm, add notes to it, and then improvise with it over tunes. This form of improvisation is called motif development. Bear with me this week as I try to give you the big picture of what I'm talking about. I'm going through the main terms and definitions you can apply to your actual practicing and improvising over tunes. Then I'll explain what's happening in this week's line. First, what is a motif and what is motif development? A motif is a small thematic unit of melody, roughly between 2 and 8 notes, consisting of a single idea or musical thought, similar to a short sentence in language, generally not longer than 2 bars. A motif's ending is determined by a brief or sustained period of rest or inactivity which defines the idea and allows for its effect to be realized. The total length of a motif often includes this period of inactivity which immediately follows it. And this is from Hal Crook's book, How to Improvise, Used with Permission. Additionally, motif development occurs when at least one musical element is the same as or very similar to that of a previous motif, establishing continuity, while the other musical elements change to create something new for the sake of interest. For a motif development to be successful or effective, that which is the same between the two ideas and that which is different must be obvious to the ear. Hal Crook, How to Improvise, Used with Permission. Here are some common specific tools you can use to develop your motifs. Start with an original motif. Just pick a rhythm and add notes that fit the harmony. You can consider variation, of which there are 2 types, melodic and rhythmic. Melodic variation means same rhythm, different notes. Rhythmic variation means same notes, different rhythm. You could consider extension of the original motif, which just means adding notes. For example, adding a string of 8th notes before, during, or after the original motif. Fragmentation means using a part of the motif. Rhythmic displacement means starting the motif on a different beat. There's augmentation, which means making the time values of the motif longer. For example, taking a motif containing quarter notes and making them half notes. Diminution, which means making the time values shorter. For example, taking a motif that contains half notes and making them quarter notes. This week's line involves 5 specific motif development tools: melodic variation, rhythmic variation, fragmentation, and extension. And before I get to the line of the week, and so we're on the same page, here are the chords to the progression. The chords are G minor 7 to C7 to F major 7 to B flat major 7 to E flat major 7, A flat major 7, D flat major 7, C major 7. Here are the chord scales I'm using for this week's line. The chord scales are F major to D flat melodic minor to C pentatonic to F major to B flat major to E flat major to A flat major to G pentatonic. Here's the melodic rhythm I'm using this week. Here's the line of the week with Guitar Pro backing I use to make sure I'm getting the notes and the rhythm accurate. Let's look specifically at the line of the week. In measure 1, there's the original motif, meaning the melodic rhythm with notes that fit the harmony. In measure 2 contains mainly rest. Measure 3 contains a melodic variation of the original motif, meaning same rhythm, different notes to fit the harmony. Measure 4 contains mainly rest. Measure 5 contains a fragment of the original motif at the very beginning, followed by a series of eighth notes called extension. Measure 6, like measure 5, contains a fragment of the original motif at the very beginning, followed by a series of eighth notes called extension. And then in measures 7 to 8, measure 7 is an example of rhythmic variation where the melodic curve is very similar to the original motif, but the rhythm is changed slightly from syncopated notes to 4/4 notes, falling squarely on the beats. In conclusion, let me quickly shift gears. An explanation of my fingerstyle technique is available on my store page at stewartjazz.com. All my major, pentatonic, melodic minor, and diminished shapes are included in my instructional video and accompanying PDF files. The PDF files contain regular notation, tab, left-hand fingering, right-hand fingering, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. The video and the PDF files are only $10. Your purchase helps support the channel. So that's all for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.